Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Iggy's Bodybuilding Camp. I am travelling for work, and while I'm in the hotel room, I like to spend my time productively by making these YouTube videos for you guys. So without much further ado, in today's video I'm going to look at the 3 different body types. In doing so, hopefully you'll be able to then decide which of the body types you fall under, and then I'm going to look at how you should be training and eating in accordance with your body type. So quick history lesson. The body types are Ectomorph, Endomorph and Mesomorphs, and they fall under the umbrella of somatotypes. And this terminology was coined by an American scientist in the 1940s who goes by the name of William Herbert Sheldon, like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. The 3 different types. Ectomorphs. These are your typical hard gainers. They tend to have narrow shoulders, narrow waist, quite a flat look, so they'll have a flat chest. They'll be lacking in the booty area, and they tend to have not a very big appetite, but they can eat whatever the hell they want and they never seem to put on any weight. But unfortunately, ectomorphs also struggle to put on muscle in accordance with not being able to put on the weight. So these are people with fast metabolisms and low body fats. For an ectomorph, the key to training is to burn as few calories as possible, but stimulate as much muscle as possible. So the best way to do that is to do compound exercises, to put lots of rest between sets so that they're preserving these calories, and to try and lift fairly heavy because you're trying to recruit as many muscle fibers as you can and keep the workout short, intense and sweet. You definitely don't want to be doing any kind of cardio. If you insist on doing cardio, then high intensity interval training is the way to go. Short and sweet, and you activate some muscle fibers. Definitely no medium pace cardio where you'll be burning a shed load of calories, and these are calories you really cannot afford to be burning. The aim of the game for you is to save as many calories as possible and to be in the calorie surplus. And now it brings me to the nutrition side of things. Ectomorphs, you need to be eating high calorie foods, because you're going to have to eat a shed load more calories than the other 2 body types. My recommendation is to try and get a weight gainer, and if that doesn't work, or if that's not the way you want to go, then you're going to have to eat foods which are very calorie dense, like nuts, chocolate, maybe even strategically have some quote unquote unhealthy foods like pizza, basically foods high in calories. The aim of the game for you is to be in a calorie surplus, and that is the only way that you will gain weight and gain muscle from your training. In order to try and illustrate an example of quite an aesthetic ectomorph would be somebody like Bruce Lee or Brad Pitt. They're quite skinny but they're muscular, and that is your typical ectomorph. The next somatotype is endomorphs. Now this is the complete opposite of the ectomorphs. They tend to be quite round in shape, pear-shaped you could almost say. They hold a lot of body fat, they tend to have poor metabolisms, they usually have quite a big appetite, and even when they don't think that they're eating much, they feel like they can easily put on weight, they hold on to weight for a long period of time. They struggle with maintaining a healthy body weight. Endomorphs tend to be quite strong in the gym. They are usually muscular, but you cannot see any of that muscularity because of the amount of fat that they're holding. As an endomorph, when you train, you want to try and keep your rest periods a bit shorter. You want to do maybe more sets, more reps. Ideally, you're trying to burn more calories from training. You will be able to put on muscle quite easily. So for you, it's all about trying to do a bit more high volume stuff, try and build a sweat. In terms of cardio, as an endomorph, you probably want to throw in a few cardio sessions to help your metabolism along. You can do some of the high intensity interval training and maybe couple it with a bit of the low intensity steady state cardio, so you're kind of burning some extra calories. The aim of the game for you is to essentially be in a bit of a calorie deficit so that you burn away some of that fat. And the only way that you can really do that is to be tracking your calories and making sure that you're in a bit of a deficit. I would say you want to stay in about a 300 to 500 deficit until you get to your desired body weight. And for you that means eating higher protein, throwing in a lot more veg and fruit and things that are going to keep you full and help you stay on that diet. If I was to illustrate, then from the world of football, you'd be looking at somebody like a Wayne Rooney. From acting, it would be somebody like a Jack Black. Pear-shaped individuals. Last and final somatotype is the Mesomorph. Now this is that guy that you knew in school who didn't seem to do any sports but still had as good a physique as anyone, who had a six-pack when he shouldn't have had. And your Mesomorph is generally really well proportioned. He has a wide shoulder and narrow waist, holds muscle quite easily, has a muscular physique. Mesomorphs find it quite easy to put on muscle, and they can pretty much lose weight fairly easily as well. Although if they overeat, they also put on fat. They are generally quite strong, athletic, and bodybuilding, lifting weights is something that comes quite naturally to them. Mesomorphs, you can pretty much train however you want. You can lift weights, heavy weights, you could do your high volume stuff, mix it up. In terms of cardio, if you train hard enough, you may not even have to do cardio, but you might want to throw in the odd bit of cardio here and there just to regulate your metabolism and maybe offset if you overeat. But generally, just lifting weights and having a decent nutritional plan will keep you looking pretty much better than most people out there. In terms of what you should be eating, your aim of the game is to stay in kind of like a small calorie surplus, maybe a couple of 100 calories, and stay in and around your kind of calorie maintenance. If I was to give an illustration of what a Mesomorph looks like, an aesthetic Mesomorph would be the likes of Sylvester Stallone or a Mark Wahlberg, naturally muscular physique. Just because there are 3 different body types doesn't mean that you fall completely into one body type. So you can easily be a combination of ecto/meso or meso/endo. You could also just be an ectomorph or an endomorph or a mesomorph, but ultimately it's not black and white, it's a spectrum, and you could fall anywhere in between. So the aim is to really try and understand which one of these you fall under, and based on that you can then determine how you should be training and how you should be eating. A good way to determine what type of somatotype you are is to figure out your maintenance calories. If you are somebody who needs to eat 4,000 calories to maintain your body weight, chances are you're probably edging towards the ectomorph. Whereas if you're somebody who eating 3,000 calories, you tend to start piling on the pounds, unfortunately my friend, you're an endomorph. If you find that you're eating in and around the 3,000 calorie mark and you are staying lean, staying muscular, feeling good in the gym, chances are you're a bit of a mesomorph, and you can usually tell just by looking in the mirror. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to comment, like, share and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Keep living the life. Be the best version of yourself that you can be, and I'll see you next time.